Mobile gaming is getting bigger and better every month, it seems, and there is always a slew of new titles coming to stores. Whether you're a casual gamer or you want something with a bit more meat on its bones, there's usually a game coming out to suit everyone's taste. Some months are better than others, but there is usually at least one great new game on mobile every month. Let's take a look at the 12 best new Android and iOS games for July 2020. Starting at number 12, we have Wild Guns Reloaded. Wild Guns is an action shooter with simple controls, good graphics, and well-designed decorations that send players to the Wild West. They are waiting for shootouts, meetings with competitors for loot, bounty hunting, boss fights, treasure hunts, visits to saloons, and much more that will not get boring. It remains only to masterfully maneuver among obstacles and shots of opponents, manage to return fire, collect different values, and apply the skills of your character in a timely manner. The high dynamics of all that is happening will appeal to any connoisseur of non-stop adventures. By the way, today we have an amazing sponsor, Raid Shadow Legend. Raid is a mobile and PC game with the best graphics in the known universe, in which you can control a group of legendary champions and use them to save World of Teleria from destruction. Also, you can collect hundreds of warriors from 16 factions. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite factions in the game, the Barbarians. Barbarians are trained mercenaries from all walks of life. They're all about mobility and wielding epic weapons to SM work their enemies. The Barbarian with one of the biggest weapons in the game is Jotun. I mean, look at that thing. He uses his massive sword to break through his enemy's defenses with his auto attack. He can also burn his enemies with his A2 and decrease their max HP by 30% of the damage he does with his A3. And by the time you're watching this video, the brand new Tag Team Arena should be live in-game. Tag Arena is the next level of competition PvP battles. Instead of a single 4 vs 4 battle like in Classic Arena, it's actually a series of 3 4 vs 4 battles. It's best of 3, whoever wins 2 battles wins the series. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you are a new player, you will get 50,000 silver plus 50 gems, plus 1 energy refill, plus 1 clan boss key, plus 5 mystery shards, plus 1 day XP booster, plus 1 free epic champion, Shaman. Keep that in mind. Those rewards will be available through those links only for new players and only for the next 30 days. Now at number 11 is Flying Flogger. Flying Flogger is a minimalistic air combat simulator in which you will control a small military aircraft and participate in battles. Raise your air warship and destroy the enemy with well-aimed shots. Control the plane using 2 on-screen buttons, forcing it to change the flight path. Earn coins for shooting enemies, upgrade the intensity of the attack and the arms of his air machine. You are waiting for more than 100 levels with increasing difficulty and 15 types of opponents. The game has excellent realistic physics, addictive gameplay, and a nice visual design. Next up at number 10, we have Antarctica 88. This is a horror game with elements of a quest in which players will go to Antarctica with a rescue group. The research station, or rather the scientists on it, stopped maintaining radio communication with the mainland. You need to hurry to the site to find out the reasons and check the condition of people. But the first steps on the territory turn an ordinary mission into a real nightmare. Monsters, fear, incomprehensible messages, secrets, and constant cold will accompany gamers throughout the fascinating story. Only the most resilient will be able to withstand the onslaughts of this cursed place. Moving on to number 9, we have Way of Retribution. This is an action RPG clearly inspired by the Souls saga, where you are immersed in an old, dark, and mysterious world. Very similar to the one you find in Demon Souls or the first Dark Souls. Your objective? To finish the endless struggle that began millennia ago once and for all. Before the adventure begins, you can create your own character, choosing between various classes like clergy, knight, rogue, and warrior. You can also customize your appearance to your heart's content. Select between tons of hairstyles, eyebrows, eyes, accessories, and more. The graphics are a little dark and they're almost as good as the graphics in the original Demon Souls. Breaking into number 8, we have MindCell. MindCell is fascinating and impressive in terms of quality third-person action that will appeal to all fans of cyberpunk style. The main character was in the bowels of a secret laboratory as a test specimen, with the status of expendable. By a lucky chance, he managed to free himself and now he needs to fight his way to the exit. simultaneously restoring the gaps in his memory of the last days of his former life. Beautiful graphics, dynamics, a variety of weapons, boss fights, interesting plot twists, and much more will attract everyone without exception. Next up at number 7, we have Speeding Ahead. This is an exciting racing project that combines the arcade component of games for maximum entertainment of drivers, as well as opportunities for endless pastime on the proposed tracks. They have at their disposal not only various decorations and settings of the complexity of how everything will happen, but also a lot of cars. This can be improved and transformed due to the presence of upgrade mechanics for the received rewards. This will help significantly increase the chances of success and challenge rivals that were previously simply unattainable for novice riders. Moving on to number 6, we have The Longest Night. In the game, you will wake up in a small room. The only thing you remember is that someone inserted a syringe into the back of your neck. You have no idea where you are or what you are doing in this abandoned place. Despite the pain, you get up. Now, you need to solve a lot of puzzles, collect clues, and leave this terrible place in any way you can. And you must remember to avoid the maniac and not let yourself be offended. Otherwise, it will add you to its list of victims. Overall, it has great graphics and sound, and it will be a really good choice for everyone who likes horror games. Moving on to number 5, we have DC Battle Arena. DC Battle Arena is an action game where you take up arms in exciting battles between DC Comics heroes. As in any MOBA in the Android universe, your mission is to create increasingly powerful teams, combining all the skills of each of the characters to win in every battle you face. Plus, along the way you witness the iconic powers of Harley Quinn, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman in action. Visuals are as per usual in this genre, so you'll be watching everything unfold from above, via a zenithal perspective. After forming your team with the characters you've unlocked, you'll be ready to enter the arena. Similarly, with the rewards you pick up, you can improve some of your hero's skills. Next up at number 4, we have Little Orpheus. Little Orpheus is a side-scrolling action-adventure game split up into short episodes. You play as Ivan Ivanovich, dropped into a volcano in an exploration capsule called the Little Orpheus. Ivan vanishes and then appears after a few years, with a story about saving the world. Controlling Ivan is as simple as dragging your finger left or right to move, tapping once more for a jump, and holding a finger down to use contextual switches or valves. Players can also control Ivan by connecting a Bluetooth controller, which I personally found to be a little more reliable than the touch controls. The touchscreen is certainly more convenient, but I sometimes found they could occasionally be a little sluggish or unreliable. Coming in at number 3, we have Outlander Fantasy Survival. Outlander is a survival game, in which you will find full of dangers and adventure survival in a fantasy world. The protagonist somehow inexplicably falls from the modern world into the magical dimension, and now he will have to survive in the fantasy kingdom of the past. First, you will need basic resources such as wood, stone, iron, leather, etc., so that you can make tools for building more complex elements. And you will also create weapons, because this world is awash with monsters, evil orcs, wild beasts, and other creatures. It's also important to keep an eye on basic needs. Your character cannot be too hungry or thirsty. Next up at number 2, we have Sky Gamblers 2. This is the continuation of the popular realistic flight simulator of the Second World War Sky Gamblers Storm Raiders. Fly through authentically recreated cities in the UK, USA, Egypt, Russia, Norway, and Germany, in realistic weather conditions. Hone your takeoff and landing skills on airfields and aircraft carriers. Destroy air, water, and ground targets. You will have access to detailed fighters, bombers, and dive bombers of the Second World War. Evaluate the progressive damage system and smash your enemies to pieces. Choose a historical camouflage for the aircraft or create your own unique coloring. And finally, at number 1, we have Beyond a Steel Sky. Beneath a Steel Sky is a cyberpunk-style point-and-click adventure game released by Revolution Software in 1994 that featured art design from Watchmen's Dave Gibbons. 25 years later, the game will receive a follow-up in the similarly named Beyond a Steel Sky. You play as Robert Foster, a man in search of a kidnapped child. As he transverses a barren desert, Foster happens upon Union City, one of the last metropolises in a world racked by warfare. Missions have predetermined outcomes, but you can complete them in various ways. This gives you a great deal of flexibility when it comes to deciphering puzzles. Either way, that's it for the best new Android and iOS games of 2020. If you guys enjoyed it, do me a favor and drop a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe with a notification bell turn on so you don't miss out on any future videos. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!